Hello there. Welcome to Healthy Cooking with your friendly Italian. I'm Jim Darrow.
And I'm Marilyn Darrow.
And we have a very special guest with us, a paisan, the owner of Chinos, who has one in Waterloo and one in Geneva, Sal Franzone. Is that right?
Franzone.
See,
Well,
Franzone.
Roll the R and end with an A.
Yes,
Franzone.
well, they all have to end in a vowel.
So we're
Although in the United States, we don't often say those, but they all do end in a vowel.
So we're going to be talking to our special guests about the wonderful food that they present at Ciccino's. We're also going to be giving some recipes, a linguine and a little lemon cream sauce and some 1, 2, 3 garlic shrimp, easy way of shrimp, and a Italian tuna salad and a couple other things. We're also going to be talking about the wonderful Rieslings of the Finger Lakes region. And we'll also talk about the foods and wines of some of the things that are happening. We're into the season of the wineries are now into harvesting and such. So we're going to be talking about all of those things. But first and utmost, welcome, Sal.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Marilyn, for asking me to be on the show today.
Now, let me tell you something, people. This guy, Chinos, makes the best honey garlic chicken wings in the world.
They are good. They are.
They are absolutely wonderful, and I give him my reward. Plus, you got a reward from someplace else, right?
Yeah, just recently the Finger Lakes Times did a contest in the area, and
they're really good.
We were voted the best chicken wings in the Finger Lakes.
Yeah, they are phenomenal, and you need to go there and try them. Plus many other things. We're going to be talking about all the things.
They have a very extensive menu when you think about it.
Oh,
it's not just a pizza and wing place. I
No.
mean, they have many entrees, lunch specials.
Well, you have lunch, you have dinner, you have a takeout, you have a party room.
Yes.
You're covering all the bases, and all of the food is really good. Before we get into the what you serve, all the wonderful food you serve, let's talk about your background. You are originally from?
I'm originally from Auburn, born and raised in Auburn. In 1996, we opened the Waterloo location, which is currently at 22 East Main Street, as a pizzeria restaurant, and it was half the size that it is now.
Right.
Actually, next year next May 29th, we'll be celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Oh, great.
It coincides with the commemorate this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
So it falls on the same weekend, actually the same weekend that we opened 20 years ago. So I was born and raised in Auburn. I'm a Cuba Community College alumni, and after 2 years and getting my associates in math science, I was while in college working in the restaurant business, pizzerias to say, I decided that was the career path I wanted to take.
It's in your genes.
Yeah, it's in my genes.
It's in your genes.
I'm the only one of the family, here and overseas that's in the restaurant business. There's a lot of them in the wine business, but not in the restaurant business.
There you go.
Well, one goes with the other too. Wine and food, and the Italians know how to make wine, and they know how to cook food. So you're right there with us. So let's talk about what's on this wonderful, wonderful menu of yours. Let's start out with some of the appetizers that are somewhat unique, that we both like. Always like greens and beans.
Greens and beans, yes.
And
they do a really good job.
With the sausage and the beans and the escargot.
And the escargot and navy beans and a lot of garlic.
Well,
Very popular dish. Some variations call for a dry greens and beans, and we add a little juice to it to make it almost like as a soup.
Yeah.
right.
A more traditional greens
Right.
and beans. It's very popular, very
It
simple
should be.
recipe.
It's a great dish. And the calamari, again, a little twist.
Yeah.
Because now you got the fried calamari, but then you're doing something extra with it.
Yeah.
With the rings of, is it a pickled?
Banana pepper rings.
Yeah.
Is that what
Banana
they are?
peppers, yeah, banana pepper rings, yeah.
That are absolutely wonderful. And don't you serve that on spinach?
That is spinach.
Yeah. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Yeah, it's a very popular dish. And the funny thing is, we used to just serve fried calamari with a side of cocktail sauce or dipping or red sauce. Sales they moved, but once we switched it and gave it a little twist, a more traditional twist, it's flying out the door. It's become a very popular appetizer.
Great.
And your paninis are, I enjoy your Italian paninis with your capagol and your salami and your provolone, and you press them.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, the bread that you use in your paninis, where do you get?
It comes from our purveyor. It comes through Cisco.
Yeah, okay. Good.
There's different variations. Basically, you turn any bread into a panini.
Yes.
You grill it, and
Yeah.
this flatbread panini gives us the ability to make it at will on the go. We don't use a press. We use a flat top because the paninis already come pre-marked, pre-grilled, and so forth.
Okay.
And it's just it's a novelty that came out last year to the purveyor, and then they introduced it to us, and we took it on board, and it's been very, very popular.
I can see why.
Yeah.
You also make a hell of an eggplant parmesan that you can put into a nice hot sandwich that is very good. Some of your entree dishes, a little bit different. You frutta da mare, but it's a forno. It's
forno, yes.
Yeah, it's baked.
Yes, it's frutta di mare al forno. It's basically crab meat, scallops, and shrimp, and an Asiago cheese cream sauce, and we combine it all together and make a thick cheese sauce and put it in a boat, and then put some panko breading on the top and bake it in the oven.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
we haven't had it. We're going to have to try that. And you have a little twist on the steak caprese,
Steak caprese, yes.
which is a sirloin, or a strip steak, right?
Yeah, it's a strip steak. Yeah.
But now, the caprese? You think of tomatoes, and but there's other things in there. Spinach.
We instead of just putting tomatoes and mozzarella on top, we mix together spinach, bruschetta tomatoes, and fresh mozzarella, and bake it on top of the steak. Well, traditionally bistecca in Italian.
Yes.
So we put that on top, and we bake it in the oven after the steak's been grilled on the grill, to serving temp. And when it comes out, we finish it with fresh basil and a drizzle of balsamic reduction.
I'm getting hungry. This sounds good. You also have a stuffed rigatoni, but you serve it with a vodka sauce.
Yes.
Which is a little different, and right now there's a lot of places that do a vodka sauce, and I love a vodka sauce and a good combination of stuffing the rigatonis with that. That's got to be when you stuff the rigatoni. You're using a squeezy, or how do you?
Yeah, I like to take credit for that, but we get them already done.
Oh,
that's a lot of work.
I know it is a lot.
The amounts we go through in the course of a week, we find a product line and we stick with it, and we test it, and then we stick with it.
Okay.
But they do a good job. Our purveyors do a good job, and that's one line that we brought in. That traditionally, you eat chicken riggies.
Yes.
Instead of doing just a traditional chicken riggies with a rigatoni, we decided to do a stuffed rigatoni with the ricotta cheese inside and so forth.
Oh, that's great.
And it's been a very popular dish. For the last 3 years, we've had it on the menu.
Now, how is you do a chicken marsala,
Yes.
which is in a marsala wine and mushroom sauce.
Yes.
I would think that would be is very good.
That is a very good dish. It's been one of our staple dishes. It's been on our menu for 20 years. We
Right.
opened with that same recipe, and it's not the typical marsala wine brown sauce. It's a marsala wine cream sauce that we do the dish with, and it just throws a different flair. And it's been one of our staple dishes that years ago we opened with. So.
Yeah. So when you're trying to find new recipes, I mean, are you seeing people's taste change, or you're just trying things?
Trends definitely change.
Yes.
Times change. 15 years ago, beef, was
Beef
hot.
was a big thing,
and
yes.
It was a big thing. Then chicken became very popular. Now it's pork.
Yes.
There's all these trends that are coming out, and you adapt to the times.
You had a special for lunch,
Which I had,
was
what I
a
loved.
pork,
A grilled pork.
grilled pork salad.
Yes.
That was excellent.
Really,
really.
that
a
was my last
nice
meal
dish.
there that I really, really enjoyed.
In our lunch specials, we've been doing this for the last 2 years, where we come up with a lunch special menu, 8 items, and we offer it for about 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks.
And you change.
And then we change, and it gives people the ability to look forward and say, here's a menu that's going to be available for the next 6 weeks. I come in today, I'm going to try this, and another week I'm going to try this, and if they like the item that they ate, they can go back and know that it's going to be on the menu instead of running the day-to-day specials where you don't know,
Right.
where
Right.
the chef's
And-
choice.
Yeah.
Now, is your menu the same in Geneva as it is in
Yes.
Waterloo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we run.
And do you have a private room in Geneva or just in Waterloo?
No, just in Waterloo. Our second floor in our Geneva store houses the Lions National Bank corporate offices.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
But here in Waterloo, you have a private room?
We have a private party room. It's called secondo piano, which simply translated means second floor.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
And we do parties of all kinds. We do small weddings. We do rehearsals. We do retirement parties. We have different styles of service that we offer: family style, table served, and buffet style.
Right.
And it's been we opened that in December of 2010, and we can accommodate small private parties, and it's totally so you don't have to.
So you
If people don't have to go to the first floor if they don't want to,
Right.
it's all self-contained upstairs. And
So you got private parties, you got lunch, you got dinner, you got takeout, and you have it's a pizzeria.
Pizzeria.
You made wonderful pizzerias. Now let's talk about the crust on a pizza that you have. You have two different crusts, one from Naples and one from Sicily.
correct.
And the difference between the one from Naples and the one from Sicily is
About 3/4 of an inch.
3/4 of an inch. Right?
Yes.
And one's pan
Right.
baked in a pan, and one's baked, and then the Neapolitan's baked directly on a hearth.
And
And
you
do you have wood burning stoves or just?
We have a wood burning oven. We have not used it in the last few years. I mean, actually, last 10 years. We opened with it. It was one of our flares that we opened with. But aside to those, we have natural gas ovens that we've stuck with. But we have been talking about bringing it back. Certain days of the week, just to have a traditional, brick wood-fired brick oven night. As a special here in Waterloo. That is not in Geneva. Geneva, we don't have that capability.
It's hard. Can you get the heat up high enough?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
800 degrees it runs at.
All right,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
great. Right. So you have these wonderful pizzas. You have, I think I counted 25 different toppings that you can put on pizzas. Plus, you have my favorite, the simple one, the margarita, which is a little sauce and a little cheese, and then the bianco, which is a white pizza with lots of garlic, and the bruschetta, which is fresh slices of tomato and on top. All wonderful, wonderful things. Now you also have strombolis and you have calzones. Can you tell me the difference between a stromboli and a calzone?
Well, a stromboli is they're both in a sense pizza pockets. The calzone is a pocket which traditionally a pizza pocket stuffed with a sweet ricotta cheese that was deep fried and then pulled from the deep fryer and then sprinkled with like a powdered sugar. Obviously, those times have changed. We cook those in the ovens now, and we actually had a special on one of our lunch special menus where we actually deep fried the calzone there. We had a special, and it went over pretty well. But being more health conscientious, instead of being deep fried in oil, and we went to the oven, and that was even before our time. That's how I learned to do it, was in the ovens. So basically, it's a pizza pocket. A stromboli is just a different shaped pizza pocket, where it's elongated instead of a pocket like, and then you can put the same toppings in there. Traditional stromboli, we don't put ricotta in there, but if a customer asks for ricotta as a topping, we put it in there.
And do you put meat in it too?
Yes, in the stromboli, our traditional stromboli on our menu has pepperoni, sausage, ham, and green peppers and mozzarella in it. Where a calzone, it starts with a base of mozzarella and ricotta, and then you just build it to suit with your own pizza toppings.
Now,
Well,
do
there
you
you go.
use
Now
all
I
the
know.
same dough that is the
Yes.
pizza? It's basically your pizza dough.
Correct, yes.
Now, do you make your own dough?
Yes, every day.
I
Made
would
in-house
say
fresh.
with the amount
Yeah.
of dough you use, you would have to.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine
Yeah,
that
we've
you
been doing it
would-
for 20 years. It's one of those things where you definitely tell the difference between a fresh.
Yes, and
dough
it does
and
make a
frozen
huge
dough.
difference.
So.
And then you also make Philly cheesesteaks, both
Yes.
with chicken and
Yes.
with beef.
Yes,
And you make a Cuban sandwich.
panini. Yeah.
And that's got ham and cheese and pickles and what else? Pork
Pork.
And then mustard,
and mustard.
Yeah.
And you also have quesadillas.
quesadillas. Yes.
Yeah. You cover the whole gamut.
We adapt with the times. We got to make sure that we cover all the bases. Often people say we have a very large menu, but in a sense, if you look at it, we're housing two operations under one roof. We got
Yes,
the
you
pizzeria
are.
aspect and the
Sure.
restaurant aspect.
Right.
I mean, because people can go on one side and just
Mm-hmm.
do either the takeout or do a quick, or you can go do sit-down dining in the other half.
And
which
that takeout and delivery equivalates to about 50% of our business. So
I wouldn't, yeah.
I can see why. It's wonderful. We talked a little bit about your luncheon special. We mentioned the pork, loin of pork salad. We also noticed you had macaroni and cheese on
Yes,
that,
yeah.
and a flatbread pizza was
Yes,
on there,
yeah.
and a wonderful pasta dish with arugula and garlic and prosciutto. You can't go wrong. I mean,
You
just
can't go wrong.
wonderful thing. So not only the dinners are good, the pizzas are good, the lunches are good. Everything is great.
It's very,
Plus,
very good.
don't forget the chicken wings.
Jim's favorite.
I'm going to take a moment and give some recipes. They are available by going down to through on our that you can get them. We have 4 recipes. We have a linguine with a lemon cream sauce, which is going to be very, very light in flavor, a nice zesty flavor to it. And it is something that is easy to make, but is also elegant and can be served for company. And you're taking some strips of prosciutto, and I like to combine both butter and olive oil and sauteing that, adding some chicken broth, some half and half, some lemon juice, lemon zest, and salt and pepper, and then put your linguine, the cooked linguine, into it. Add about a half a cup of the water, the
Well,
solid
the pasta
water.
water is very important, and that makes it a
And,
huge difference when you're making
And
a
that's
pasta
it. It's
dish.
very easy to do.
Yes,
it's a nice,
it really
nice
does.
dish.
And it's such a simple thing to do that people don't think about, but it does make a huge difference.
yes, it does.
I also have a recipe for either chicken wings or drumsticks. Nothing.
Well, these are grilled, but as we
well,
were talking,
they're almost Indian in flavor.
right?
Because you're marinating them in some yogurt and spices, and then you're serving it with what they call a raita sauce, which is a combination of mango and onion and lime juice and some jalapeno peppers, and you serve that on the side, which is a nice different type of approach after you when
Right.
you're grilling them. Also, I got a 1-2-3 shrimp. It's an easy garlic shrimp, and we're going to use some shrimp, and we're going to use counts of about 16 to 20, and we're going to devein them and rinse them off, pat them dry, and again use the combination of olive oil and butter, and saute the shrimp in them. Take the shrimp out. Now add lots and lots of garlic, and stir that around for a minute, and pour that over the top of the shrimp. A little parsley, a little lemon wedge, and some garlic toast, and you're in business. Glass of wine, sounds like
Right.
a good dish. And the last dish we have is Italian canned tuna. Now I'm talking about
Jim
tuna,
has gone back to the old-fashioned
Yes.
Italian can too, and it does taste a lot better.
but it
than
isn't in
our-
a can; it's in a jar.
It is.
And it makes all the difference in the world. You're going to pay more money for it, but it is well worth it. And just mix, it's so easy to do. Mix it in with some olive oil, the olive oil from the jar too, some garbanzo beans or chichi beans, some capers and balsamic vinegar, and mix that all together with some garlic, and just let that sit for about 15 minutes. Maybe decorate it with some roasted peppers over the top, some Italian bread sopping up all those wonderful juices, and you're in business. So that's the recipes for
this week. But so, Sal, do you have anything else you'd like to tell us about your wonderful restaurant?
Other than, like I said, we're celebrating our 20th year next year. We have 2 locations in Waterloo and 1 in Geneva. Our Geneva store has been open since 2005. And we actually are having a menu change here upcoming in the next month. usually our yearly annual menu change that we have. And to keep an eye out for it. It's going to be out soon. And also, one other thing too, if anybody's looking to order takeout or delivery, we do have online ordering now, where you can go to our website and order online.
That's
great.
great.
Anything on our menu. So
You can't
And you
miss people.
do delivery, and,
Yes.
do you have a particular area?
we
within-
pretty much cover, from Seneca Lake, between both locations, we cover from Seneca Lake all the way to, I want to say, the outskirts of Geneva, which is around the Harley Davidson shop. And
Okay.
then south we go as far as the Army Depot, the old Army Depot.
Right.
To north as far as I would say 318 and so forth. So we
Well, yeah.
pretty big area.
They serve excellent food, people, and you need
And they
to-
certainly have the facilities,
And
that,
yeah.
you have the right ovens, you have all the right
Right.
equipment to make all this wonderful food.
Yeah.
And that is key, having the right equipment.
Oh,
That's
I think
right,
so.
I'm sure.
I mean, it's amazing the amount of business that you can get out of
Oh, yeah.
that area. So,
And I noticed when we were in your restaurant last week that you were featuring the Glenora wines, which are an excellent product. And I want to spend a moment to talk about the Finger Lakes Rieslings. The Finger Lakes Rieslings are as good as any place you can get in the country, and it's a microclimate that really blends itself well to making these wonderful Rieslings. And the gold awards were just made recently last week, and Wagner's they had the dry Riesling was awarded as the best wine. And another one, Chateau Lafite Renew, which is over on the east side of Seneca Lake,
right.
which is a semi-dry type of Riesling. And Wagner's also has what they call a semi-sweet Riesling, which is also good. So, and you can't go wrong with the Rieslings.
and you do feature other wineries, local wineries, don't you, Sal?
Yeah, 75% of our wine list are local wineries. We have Glenora, we have Swedish Hill, we have White Springs Winery.
Yes.
There's multiple wineries in the area. We do offer a few California wines and a few imports, just because there's some wines that are local wine,
Well,
indigenous to the area.
we're doing better on red wines in this area, but we're still not
Long way to
where a lot of places are. But, even the experimental station had said years ago that our microclimate is really for the Riesling
Absolutely.
grape. And so that's why all this Riesling notoriety is coming through, because that is our microclimate around here.
You got Italian wines out there. They're good. The Italian wines are great.
They are
Yeah.
good.
So anyways, some events that are coming up in the next couple of weeks over in Canandaigua. There's a farmers market on the 5th. You go, you buy all your stuff that at the farmers market, and then you take it on over to the New York Wine and Culinary Institute, and you can cook it right there. They got that going on.
Well, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah. There's also a Purple Foot Festival at Casa Largo, which is over in Fairport. I think you can get in there and stomp with your grapes. We've got somebody coming on here in a few weeks that makes his own wine and stomps the grape.
Yeah,
and
he has a party where you are allowed to stomp the grapes if you choose to.
Jim, speaking of making your own wine, when I was young, my father, we used to make 55 gallons a year.
Yeah.
I remember
every Italian,
crushing the grapes.
Yeah.
Now we buy the juice.
Yeah,
of course.
But I used to be the guy who used to crush the grapes, sit there all day long,
Right.
run the grapes to the
Yeah,
mill.
my mother wouldn't allow my father to do the wine because of the fruit flies in the
my
basement.
mother
Oh, yeah.
didn't
Right?
either.
Oh gosh.
But every family, somebody in their family was making their homemade wine, and that was the big discussion on Sunday, at least in our family, as to whose wine was better than the other person's wine.
Right.
And, whatever.
Also, Fox Run is having what they call a Griddles and Vittles celebration, which is basically drinking wine and grilled cheese sandwiches.
There you go.
Interesting concept. Hosmer is having a harvest festival. They have it every year. Food, wine, music is coming up, so you might want to think about attending any of those type things and supporting the community. So it's great to have you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And next time, we are going to, in a couple of weeks, we've got a new restaurant that has opened up here, a pretzel factory.
Well, a pretzel factory, but also
Yeah.
serves
But it
serves some sandwiches.
And these
But-
pretzels are out of this world, but they've got a lot of other things going on there. And it's a really a nice spot. So we're going to be talking about a new restaurant that is open. I'm going to call it a restaurant because they do
They
more
do
than just,
serve, but it's basically you should go get their pretzels, or they have all kinds of things you can buy. But anyway, we want to encourage you to all go to Chinos
Yeah.
and enjoy your changes. In about 6 weeks, you said you'll
Yeah.
be in for your what we would call a fall
By
menu.
the end of this month, and we're coming out with some new dinner specials too that we are
Right.
planning on offering
Yeah.
too.
Well,
rolling
that's
out with
wonderful. And as he said, they don't change they don't have a weekly special. They have at least a 6-week
For
special.
our lunch specials
Your
currently.
lunch
correct.
special, so that you know that you can go back and
Mm-hmm.
try this dish that you've had that you really like.
Absolutely.
So thank you again
My
for
pleasure, my
joining
pleasure.
us,
Thank you.
and
Right.
we encourage
We
everyone
enjoyed,
to use
we will be
Ciccino.
visiting. And just remember, the Italians are going to rule the world someday.
Well, they certainly ruled the
Yeah.
food world lately. That's for sure.
You have a good day. Enjoy this wonderful last shot at hot weather, and we'll see you in a while. So, ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you.